Hey everybody, and welcome to the first ever Vassals of Kingsgrave recording on our Discord server. We're so modern, so shiny, so new. It's exciting. My name is Bina007, and today we're going to be fan watching The Return of the King Extended Edition. So if you're watching it with us, it should be 4 hours and 23 minutes and 10 seconds long. For which reason, unlike the previous two films, we're going to do this in two parts. So if you're watching on DVD or if you have a scene list, we're going to watch from the first scene, obviously, the Finding of the Ring, up and including the Dwimmerborg, the Haunted Mountain, which is scene 33, which means that we're going to start part 2 with scene 34, which is the Muster of Rohan. So basically, we're taking ourselves up to the point where we're really in the final battle setup. So hopefully that all makes sense. I am joined today by Craigbot, who's recording this, we hope, but also more importantly by Adam.
This is Adam, DrownedSnow.
By Nadia.
This is Nadia.
By Shellfish.
This is Shellfish and Petteri also.
By Varley.
Varley.
And by Zach.
Hey, this is Zach and Alias.
Cool. Okay. So as in previous editions, we are going to try to count backwards. 3, 2, 1, play. On play, you hit play, and hopefully we're all coordinated. So get your remote controls ready. Get your touchpads ready. 3, 2, 1, play. So you get some lovely music and the new line.
Marvel Studios. Oh wait, what? Are we not watching Endgame?
Oh, it's so beautiful. So how do you guys feel about Return of the King when you watched it? Is this your favorite film? How does it rank in the trilogy for you?
It's kind of long, and by the end you kind of feel a little bit tired, but it does have some very good scenes in it.
Yeah, it is long. It's probably the one that I've rewatched the least, even though I'm sure I've watched it 10 times by now. If that makes any sense. But
do you think they should have made it just 2 films?
No. You'd lose so much. I mean, but Two Towers is still probably my favorite. I don't know.
I think there's something about the epic length of it too. Like, there's something that you feel sort of exhausted by the end of it, and that's intentional in some way. So.
It feels like you carried the ring.
Yeah.
Oh, it's Smeagol and Deagle. I love how beautifully sunny this is lit. Like, this happy, perfect Shire. Not Shire, but pastoral.
It's a nice place to start.
Yeah. I can definitely hear the movie a bit more coming through this time.
Okay. Do you think what happened to Smeagol would have happened to Deagle? Is there anything inherent in Smeagol finding the ring? Like, if he had found it first, like, is there something particularly evil in Smeagol that the ring discovered? Or could it happen to any of us?
He's kind of a dick. I mean,
well, I guess the books say he was always curious and he was always searching the roots of trees and wanted to know about beginnings and stuff like that. So it doesn't sound inherently evil.
That shot of Deagle being dragged by the fish underwater is kind of a terrible shot, I'll say.
Yeah, that doesn't hold up so well, huh?
I don't know if it ever held up, because they're trying to make him small and make him like being dragged through the water, and it doesn't work. But I mean, I guess they say that they're like hobbit-like creatures. Were they just like hobbits from like a different place that got destroyed, or?
Yeah. I believe that is.
No, weren't they just like hobbit-like creatures? They weren't exactly.
But what does that mean? Hobbit-like, like, oh, they're small and got ears and have everything that hobbits have.
Well, isn't it the whole deal in the the initial chapter of the first book where Tolkien explains all the different kinds of hobbits? Aren't they one of just the other ones?
Yeah, there's stores.
Yeah, they might be.
Yeah, they just migrated to the Shire, I think, from the Vales of the Island.
The non-Shire hobbits.
Yeah. Also, they can be hobbit-like without being hobbits, because hobbits are very self-aware and call themselves hobbits. Like, if these were people not calling themselves hobbits, then
Yeah, are these just halflings but not hobbits? Then
Yeah.
I don't know.
They're like hobbits except assholes.
I
Yeah.
think this whole murder bit here is actually very powerfully done as well. It's very disturbing, and the sound design especially makes it very cool.
And I know, like starting the movie off like this, the first time I saw it, I was just like, what the hell?
I also didn't like how Gollum's voice kind of didn't change. He's always had that like weird.
I think that's okay. It's like his Smeagol voice. It gets real weird with the Gollum noises.
But I would have thought it would have been like his voice would have been corrupted as his body was corrupted or something like that. I don't know.
I'm definitely hearing the movie a lot more through the recording. Is someone watching it on laptop and recording Discord on the same laptop or something?
No,
Yeah, because someone's TV is very loud.
I'm watching it at the computer, but I'm going through my phone.
Yeah, same
Yeah.
here. But I muted myself for a bit and I could really still hear it. So
Yeah, but right now I can't see anyone's icon lighting up on Discord, so
yeah,
it's
it's
not
weird.
activating.
Oh,
it might have
poor
been mine,
Deagle.
I could hear it before. I could see it before, actually.
R.I.P. I just think it's interesting that one of them had the ring, the other one murdered the other one for it. But
Oh, are
could
you
it have
thinking
been the other
it
way
would have been the other way
around?
around? Oh.
If Smeagol had
Um,
found the ring, would Deagle have murdered Smeagol for it?
Maybe
well,
not.
in this moment here, he didn't seem. I don't know.
This whole sort of degeneration makeup is really well done as well. It's very, very gross.
The nails!
Oh, the
Popping
fingernails.
up
So
the
gross.
hairballs.
Overall, I really like those sorts of ghoulish creatures in fantasy and art and games and stuff like that. Like those pale, like I don't know, cave dwellers and stuff like that. Something about them that's kind
Yeah,
of
the
exciting.
raw
Some
fish.
gross jibs there.
I mean, never mind the nail, the
Oh,
teeth.
look at the nails, look at the teeth.
The background sound is definitely not me because even when I'm
It
not
seems to
mute, I
be
can hear it.
It seems to be Varley that's pinging when I'm hearing it.
What do I do?
Not sure. Make sure you're on mute when you're not speaking, I guess, maybe?
My poor phone's going to be out of battery. So I'll have to keep it. Hold on.
The way they do the widening and the beginning, the enlarging of the eyes is so... Like, this particular scene I find very disgusting. When they switch his eyes to the Gollum eyes.
Yeah, it's nicely done.
It's so unfair Andy Serkis never was made
And here we
proposed
have
for an Oscar.
Sam and Frodo just kind of sleeping in the wasteland.
In their camouflaging
nearby.
elven cloaks.
Pretty sure we've seen this scene 10 times now.
This would be one I would probably fast forward if I were watching it. And we start to see Frodo getting paranoid as I still got my lovely precious ring preciouses.
Oh yeah, look at it. It's gold. It's got no writing on it. It's so precious.
It's
Also-
so shiny.
Oh, look at his fingernails.
Yeah, continuing the theme of fingernails. Lots of dirty fingernails.
Sam, wake up. Gollum could have just murdered you.
I mean, it's a good question,
sleepies.
isn't it? Why does Smeagol not just murder Frodo and take the ring back?
Yeah, at what point would he, like, is he just waiting for the right opportunity? Like, what would be a good opportunity there? Like, he could have easily killed Sam.
Surely
there.
he could have murdered Sam and then murdered Frodo and taken the ring.
I mean, he tried in the Two Towers and he failed in that, so maybe he's more cautious because of it.
Because they don't have
What
another
exactly-
rope.
Where exactly are they? Like, is this a culvert? Like some kind of sewage release from what? The mountain?
I do wonder that. Because I mean, they left off Skilius, and you'd be like, oh, this could be just outside the city, but they're nowhere near it.
Yeah, it
And
could
it's
be like
obviously
a
something
waste
that was
station or
built by
something.
man. right? Yeah. Oh,
Yeah, I
maybe.
think it's a Gondorian ruin, probably.
I love the way
Somewhere in
the
Ithilien?
bread is wrapped in the leaves.
Just on the why he doesn't kill them thing, I think also we're still having him having kind of an internal battle with himself about how he wants to be. And of course,
Does
that
he
will
want to be Gollum or Smeagol? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Sam.
This is a very sweet summer child moment.
Mm.
We're not going home. What are you talking about, dude?
Yeah, especially after the Two Towers Galadriel voiceover, where she's like, "Yeah, he's just learned he's going to die by doing this task, so he's accepted that."
Just eating his lembas bread.
Oh, the music is lovely.
Yeah.
Just easing us back in the Middle Earth.
So this was a scene that was an extended scene that I feel doesn't necessarily need to have been extended.
Oh,
no,
the
it's
voice
not.
of Saruman?
No. This is a normal scene. Finding of the Ring was extend Journey to the Crossroads, which is this scene isn't. But now the
No, I
road to
think that-
Isengard.
I think the prologue is in the theatrical version as well, the Smeagol bit.
Yeah, that's in there, but this is an extended version. So this is now the
This
road
is-
to Isengard, and this is extended.
I always liked the
Yeah,
chapter,
I think this
the
was one of the
crossroads in the book.
This
Because,
is one of my favorite scenes when they all ride towards Isengard, and
Mine
they
as
just
well.
see Merry and Pippin just lording it.
Just chilling out.
And we get the title card almost
Yeah.
10 minutes in.
Yeah, man.
This is what I aspire to be in life. Just this scene of Merry and Pippin.
Yeah, just relaxing, smoking, had a good lunch
I do like them walking through the trees.
with your
just
best
being like,
friend
what
in the
hell?
sunshine. Yeah.
Look how long those pipes are.
I know. I need a Hobbit pipe.
I need a tankard.
Mm.
It's also a good line to drop
Flag
into
it.
everyday conversation that we are sitting on a field of victory, enjoying a few well-earned comforts.
And it's
Like
true,
when
because
someone
if they
says
hadn't
to you,
run
like-
the Ents, they wouldn't have been a victory, so it's well deserved.
One could say their contribution was greater than anyone else.
I would argue it was, because
Yep.
the Ents won it. I love it.
Yeah, good.
I love Aragorn's mischievous smile. Like they're scamps, but gotta love them. It's like it's so indulgent and fond. It's really lovely.
Yeah,
Salt pork.
Salted pork. Oh.
it's
And just-
particularly good.
And Gimli's utter outrage.
Gandalf's just like, goddamn hobbits.
You know.
I actually remember the scene being more emotional in the books, like they'd finally found the hobbits they'd been looking for so long.
Whereas
yeah,
Or
here
was
and
it's
they have,
that
like-
just me?
No, and then they have like a big lunch and
Yeah.
they smoke and they tell each
Here
other.
they
their
seem more
stories.
Yeah,
shocked
yeah,
than
right?
like joyous at the reunion. They're just like shocked to see them there.
I always find it really annoying
Right.
that green cloak is sitting over the arse of the horse. It's going to be full of horse
Right?
farts.
Now, see, this
Exactly.
is a good bit right here that is unfortunate, the way they did it. But in the theatrical version, they show up and they say, "Oh, well, Saruman's in the tower," and he's like, "Yeah, just keep him there," and they move on. But here we actually get to see Saruman again, although
Ah,
Yeah, Christopher Lee was not amused by the theatrical cut. It's fair to say.
Christopher Lee in this scene had to tell the director that when you stab someone in the back, they make more of a sucking in sound than like a crying out sound. So that's where they get this. And as a former, was it SAA MI6 that Christopher Lee was? Everyone on set was like, "Huh? How do you know that?"
It's so annoying having Varley's kind of feedback, because I think he's about a second off from me.
Do you think
Oh.
this is one of my favorite scenes as well, with Theoden defying Saruman as well, and showing compassion to Grima? That's great as well.
Yeah, and the scene in the book it's Saruman's last attempt to wrest control of the situation because he uses his magic voice, right, to try to sway
Yeah,
everyone.
and everyone around him's like, "Oh yes, obviously Theoden will team up with Saruman, and these are the great people in the world making plans
The
for us.
crowns of the 7 kings. What 7 kings?
The Dwarven Kings.
And I think
And the
Ilmer was the
Hawkstone.
only one who could resist him. I
Yeah,
think.
at first, yeah.
So insofar as like the good flying creatures would come and rescue Gandalf from the top of the tower, why
Oh,
don't the evil
shit.
flying creatures come and rescue Saruman here? Like,
'Cause
wouldn't a Nazgul on a winged creature come and rescue him?
They're like, fuck you, man. You
Well,
lost.
technically, Saruman was double crossing Sauron, right? So why would they come and rescue him?
Being that Nazgul are for closers, okay? He lost.
He has perfectly manicured fingernails,
Nice.
by the way.
Who has perfectly fingernails?
Saruman, when he's holding the palantir, they're perfectly manicured.
This exile crept from the shadows.
There's so much good dialogue here.
Oh yeah, I love the language here.
Those who profess strength.
Oh boy.
Yeah,
So Saruman realizes that he sent off Frodo.
I don't know.
I guess I never really took note of that, because the whole point is that, like, no one would think that they would do it.
I love when he just shoots a
Fireball! Magic missile!
Nice try, buddy.
Gandalf's like, child, please.
Oh. It's like
I'll
how
break your
Gandalf
staff.
the White...
Wizard battle!
Oh dear. Here comes Grima.
Oh, this breaks my heart.
Yeah, this is a
You
great
were
moment.
always as you are now.
You used to have eyebrows!
Anyone else think that Theoden is the best character in the movies? I truly think he's the best.
Oh
in the
yeah.
Yeah. He has a great story,
definitely.
he has great lines.
Yeah, he's very human.
And
I
yet
love in
he's
the
still
books how
merciful
this-
at the end of it.
In the books, this little speech by Saruman really rattles Theoden about how low the Rohan has fallen.
Because it is true, and that's something I like about this whole world is that everyone is diminished from what they were. It's a world in decline, which is cool.
Yeah, lesser son of lesser man.
I love how Grima can hear them way up there. I mean, I get Saruman, he's a wizard, but...
Well, I mean, Grima has some magic as well. Maybe he's got that, like, what's it called, magical hearing.
He's like, screw you,
writing.
Saruman! Legolas is like, I got this.
That's really weird. Like, Legolas just straight up shoots him.
They're like, dude,
Like,
Legolas, he was helping. Why'd you do that?
Yeah, I mean, I guess
Exactly.
this is just them tying up loose ends, but
Theoden, like...
Yeah,
And ouch. Oh.
This is a cool shot, though.
I was wondering why they put that spiky wheel there.
yeah. But isn't it sadder in the books when Saruman's killed and like his ghost like looks towards the west and then is blown away?
yeah, it is.
I mean,
I think that's
shouldn't Theoden turn to Legolas and be like, what the fuck, dude? Oh, man. Yeah, what is that wheel for? What are the spikes for on that wheel, other than the scene?
Don't worry about it.
Who knows? It looks good. That's
And
all
now
they care about, right?
The seeing stone drops. And of course, Mary's like, it's a glowy, shiny thing in the water.
Pippin.
I kind of feel they had to kill him by like putting him on a spike to prevent the fans thinking he might come back. Like, no, guys, there really isn't going to be a scouring of the Shire, so get over
Yeah, don't
it.
even worry about that.
There's probably
Well,
also a reference
when
to
you're on the fifth
Billy
inning,
playing
don't
Dracula
expect
so
that
many
one.
times. So there's a
Shiny,
good
shiny
stake.
Palantir.
I'll explain why the scouring of the Shire didn't need to happen, but not right now.
Yeah, I'm
get
looking
there.
forward to that. I feel that's why we have the 20-minute fan credits. That's exclusively for you to explain that.
It's gonna need all 20, obviously.
I like that little
Clearly.
look Pippin gives. It's very sort of
Like, you took away my
guilty.
shiny thing, meanie.
He's like,
Daddy
Bilbo
took
came
away
back
my
with a
toy.
chest of gold. I took down this entire evil fortress. I get something.
Yeah. Okay, this is now scene 5, listener. We're on the return to Edoras, which is also an extended scene.
Metaseld. I want to live there.
I want to
Which
live
is,
there.
yeah, beautiful as usual.
If you could live anywhere in Middle Earth, where would you pick?
Oh,
Here.
probably the Shire, but if I could Metaseld in the Shire,
Is he wearing like velvet, velour, something like that?
Set up a
Anywhere
little
with
mountain
Faramir.
fastness.
In Faramir's arms.
Yes,
Yeah,
that's the pick.
basically.
I'd like to recover in the House of Healing with Faramir, please.
So the
This is
Great
very
Hall,
cool.
when they came in and he was under Saruman's sway, there wasn't any like dining tables in there, was there? Where'd they all
No,
go?
this is all new furniture.
yeah, they got the trestle tables out, you know.
They just had them outside.
So what I hate about this scene is that in The Hobbit, the two guards in the barrel rider scene get fucking plastered off of wine. So it's not like elves can't get drunk.
It's an interpretation.
Yeah. Again, like part of this with the elves and Legolas is like they kind of mistook. I don't know. Like he's like Superman, you know.
Yeah, it's kind of sort of cheap comedy in a way.
And then he's an idiot that shoots the guy that you're trying to get to surrender with an arrow.
I do think the tingling in my fingers line's pretty funny, but yeah, it's kind of silly.
It is good comedy.
Eowyn fancies Aragorn.
Forget about
That's
that
all.
elven girl.
I mean,
Yeah,
they're not to
drink
fancy.
from
Look
my
at them.
cup.
He just looks at her and says, "You'll grow old, and I'll still be young."
I feel like Eowyn has a lot of watch me die inside faces in this movie.
Jesus.
Theoden's like, good choice, niece, good choice.
Yeah. I approve
Yeah,
the
he's-
marriage. What marriage?
He's the king of men.
He is a suitable boy.
Totally opposite of what Tony Soprano did with Meadow, right? You know?
Oh, Jesus fucking Christ. That was a shock. I totally forgot that had happened. There's so much casual racism in The Sopranos. When he sees them just blatant out and out, you are black. Do not date my daughter or I will kill you. It's just like, what?
Jeez.
Yeah, season 3, episode 1, guys, if you want to see Tony Soprano be an out-and-out racist.
I gotta hit.
I mean,
those
he is
Seth
anyway.
Sopranos at some point.
I mean, he straight up calls a half-Jewish, half-black kid a Moulignan.
I love the Dwarvis limerick.
Yeah, it's very elegant.
A slight tingle. I think it's affecting me.
I mean, Gimli's like, what is that? Like 20 cups?
Oh, Timber.
Let's make Gimli into this kind of nasty thug in the movie. Comedy effect.
Dancing hobbits. Hobbits love to dance on tables, man. You can't stop a
I
hobbit
know.
from dancing.
Especially with his
Sleep
beer.
well.
This is a nice addition, though. I love the Hobbit drinking song stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the dancing is very joyful. I love it.
And it reminds you of the Green Dragon back home. What they've left.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I just came back. We were on vacation, but we drove through where we used to live. It's like a hour or so south of here. But, like, we used to go to this park all the time, and they had a Green Dragon pub, just like kind of like in this weird, like odd part of town. It doesn't make any sense to have a pub, but it was all decked out. It was had Lord of the Rings stuff inside. It's pretty cool.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
Yeah, there's a cafe a couple towns outside of Boston called Elevensies.
Is it themed?
Yeah, it's in like an industrial area. You wouldn't even know it's there because it's like hard to get to. Like, it's just weird. They have like a crew of locals, I think, that rolls through pretty consistently. But the guy clearly just was like, I want to make a Hobbit pub, and he did.
Amazing.
There are a lot of pubs in England called the Green Dragon. Not necessarily, or not at all themed. It's a very common name.
The Tolkien estate doesn't have something to say about that?
Oh, it
I
probably
think the Green
does.
Dragon probably predates all of them, right?
Yeah, exactly.
They get 10 cents on the flagon.
Okay.
I mean, did
So-
Tolkien come up with the combination of green dragon? I highly doubt that.
Oh, but you know how it is nowadays.
Guys, I think you're about to get your
copyrighted.
answer. Why didn't Gollum
Okay.
kill Frodo? Like, he's arguing with himself right now.
Because he
Yeah,
promised
so,
on the Precious.
Listener,
That's
the
why.
scene is called Gollum's Villainy, and it's as in the theatrical cut.
Yeah, we get some good Gollum arguing with himself.
This is where the editor flexes.
But I mean, I know that it's the internal fight between him, but like, you know, the bad guy comes out often enough. There are plenty of opportunities where he could at least kill Sam and then like run away and, you know, try to surprise Frodo when he's exhausted.
Did we get Paul just joining?
Yes.
Oh, welcome.
Welcome, Paul.
Just give me a general timestamp you guys are at.
24:11. Gollum arguing with Smeagol about whether to kill Frodo. Looking at his reflection. It seems like this that I thought he should really have gotten a nomination for, because they really
So
are
good.
two fighting characters. It's so good. And, the way the voices change, the voice acting is so good.
The funny thing is, I remember them highlighting him at the Oscars. There was a whole like bit about this character, but they didn't give him any nomination.
Yeah, I
Oh,
think
he
they
was
focused
at
on
like the
CGI a lot.
MTV Movie Awards and all that. I think the thing was with Andy Serkis is that
Probably-
people didn't know like how all this worked. Like they throughout the Lord of the Rings movies, they kind of put it out there that he was doing this, but people didn't really see it as much of a performance as they probably do now. You know, because this was kind of the first real big like motion cap digital character.
Right,
Yeah, that's
it's not
probably
just
true.
voiceover
Yeah,
work.
exactly.
They focused on the technology more than the performance, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
CGI still holds up on Gollum.
Yeah, not too bad. Why does Gollum have eyebrows still, but Wormtongue to not?
I mean, barely.
I think it might be just the creases and the way the light hits them.
You think Gollum has like a microblade?
How do you know about
I like
microblading,
this.
Matt?
Sam's like, he's gonna
Don't
murder
worry
us.
about that, Bino.
It's like on the Primates chat just before this. Nadia and my husband were talking about how there are drive-through strippers now in Vegas. I was like, how do you know?
Well, now I'm curious about this.
Fat murderous hobbit.
Yeah, fat shaming Sam. Nice. We've all
Miserable.
put some Corona pounds. We don't need people pointing it out.
Yeah,
anyways.
He's just fluffy. He's making this trip that's like a bajillion miles. He seems in decent shape.
I feel so bad for Sam this whole movie. He's always
He's such
right,
a
but no one listens.
masochist. Yeah, he's,
Yeah,
a total
he's really shit on.
masochist.
Yeah, I relate to Sam.
I
Always
mean,
right.
is he enjoying it though? So would he be a masochist? Or is it just suffering?
Well, he can be a masochist and enjoy his suffering, right?
Well, the point is he's not enjoying it. It's just that he feels the duty to
Yeah.
keep going. Yeah.
But Frodo, I like that look from Gollum, like, haha.
Oh, that little side eye, like, I got you one over on you.
But Frodo has a good point, too, because it's like, even if he means to murder us, we just need to keep an eye on him, because we still don't really know how to get where we're going. You know, Gandalf didn't include a map.
You would have thought Metaseld had some beds, like proper beds.
I think
Well, not for
Theoden
this many
probably has
people,
a bed,
though.
but
Yeah, for guests. But
So
these
this
are
scene-
Well, not for every guest,
this
but
is like the
these are
future game
like
point. You can give
VIPs.
a bed.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Exactly.
saying.
But don't they have a lot of the people from Helm's Deep that were like all the surrounding villages that were, you know, destroyed are now there?
Dude,
Is it-
this is Gandalf and the future king of Gondor. You can find them one bed.
Yeah,
They
So
probably
this is a new
declined.
scene. This is called Eowyn's Dream, and this is genuinely new. And I
Yeah,
always
it's
love it because
great
the
scene.
way she's sleeping always feels like a painting by Titian, or
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
one of those really
Uh,
romantic paintings. The way her
Very
dress is
mythic.
arranged.
They
Yeah.
crammed
we should have
everyone
done
into one
fucking-
room so Eowyn could have the massive feast hall to herself on her spread out divan.
It just
I
feels
love
like
the
something from the Lady
rotisserie
of
barbecue
Shalott.
setup they have.
Yeah. It evokes like a fairy queen, like in her bower or something.
It's really beautiful. I don't
Yeah,
care if it doesn't make any sense.
Dialogue of her dream is beautiful as well.
It just shows how Eowyn and Faramir are really done dirty in the theatrical cut of this film. If this hadn't been included.
I mean, to be
Yeah, I
fair,
think
they're not really done right in this way either compared to the books, but
Yeah. The romance is kind of minimal, even though there is a scene of it in the extended edition.
One like 2-minute conversation.
I dreamed that you just had 2 queens, Aragorn. Could you do 2 queens? No, that's not allowed. Oh.
Oh, that scenery is beautiful. Tolkien really loves starlight, and I do as well.
Yeah, it's pretty nice.
The stars are veiled.
Blood was spilled tonight or something. I always say.
But what's nice about including Eowyn's dream is that after this you get the Palantir thing, but then you get Arwen's dream. So if you have this too, then there's that nice symmetry of the 2 women in his life. And if you don't, then you don't. But I think
2
it's
dreamy women.
It's romantic, the 2 women fighting for his heart.
when you guys did the 2 towers, did you guys talk about how originally Arwen was supposed to join them at Helm's Deep?
No, I don't think we mentioned that.
Really?
No, I don't even think I knew that.
I didn't even know that.
They had
Yeah,
a whole,
scenes.
they had her show up instead of Haldir.
I forgot Gandalf sleeps with his eyes
that is
open
so
like a fucking Doberman.
Do you guys not do that?
Hugging the
My
Palantir
eyes
like
are
it's a
open.
hot water bottle.
I just love how
This
Pippin
is
used
the
feels like
Indiana,
an Indiana
Jones moment.
Yep.
Yeah.
It works
Places
better
under
He's
than
the
clever,
tree.
right? I mean, he's
Indie.
tricksy. He's not a stupid hobbit.
Fool of a
This-
took.
I'm thinking this isn't the first time that Merry's had to warn Pippin of doing something really dumb.
Oh no, not at all.
Yeah, but usually it's like stealing a head of cabbage from like Farmer Maggot or something. It's not.
I feel this is very much in the
hustling
wheelhouse
with
of
an
how their
evil lord.
their friendship
He's
dynamic
like,
works.
Pippin, there's like magic coming off of that thing.
Alright, but actually, what's scarier, Sauron or Farmer Maggot? Like seriously, so consider.
Well, to Pippin, I think it's Farmer Maggot, right?
He's got those dogs.
It looks like he's like
Oh,
Dragon
fuck
Ball
off.
Z here, man.
Legolas is like, I feel a disturbance.
Summoning Shenron.
That was in Street Fighter when like Ryu Ayuka.
Hadouken!
Fireball.
I think
Oh.
the effects are pretty sort of effective here. Like Pippin really looks like he's in pain with the.
Yeah, the way the actors like immediately started like lose control of himself. I like them.
Yeah. And then it's rolling away and no one will get it.
Yeah, I don't like that Aragorn like touched it and
No.
Defeated by a
kind of
blanket.
diminished.
You're not so big
He's
and
in a
clever
coma
now.
forever.
Aragorn wasn't ready. He has to prep first.
Yeah, exactly.
Poor Pippin.
He went from 0 to Sauron.
Pippin. And Gandalf's
Look
immediately, what is the tactical advantage I can get from this mishap?
Look how big that Gandalf hand is.
I know. So cool.
Gandalf has nice nails. Did you see that?
Wizards, because Saruman did too. Maybe wizards just have immaculately manicured fingers.
This is Gandalf the White, son.
They've got a spot.
His eyebrows are less bushy as well.
Obviously, they didn't share it with Radagast.
Yeah.
I mean, has anyone been done dirtier than Radagast in the Hobbit movies?
Faramir, obviously.
Wait, is Faramir in the Hobbit movies?
Literally dirtier.
Poor Pippin. I mean, again, this is pretty good acting for a guy who's in this movie basically as comic relief. when asked to do something genuinely moving. And especially in the later scenes with Denethor, I think he really rises to the challenge.
He's great.
Shows some range.
Mm-hmm.
I love this hall so much. With the light streaming through.
I want the barbecue setup. Where can I get a iron worker to make me one?
To the enemy's plow.
That's actually fairly easy to do. We were, as a wedding present, we were giving a Death Star barbecue setup that's not dissimilar in concept.
Does it say you may fire when ready when you're roasting?
No, it's fully functional.
You're like, it's time to make kebabs. One reactor only.
Look at how beautiful Theoden's embroidery on his surcoat. I don't know what you call that is.
Yeah, it's intricate as
Why
fuck.
should we ride?
To me, everything's a doublet.
Like Theoden,
I
didn't
like
you
that
get
word.
that? Oh,
Yeah, the beautiful gold embroidery around his neck. I mean, Theoden's not wrong.
Oh, in
just
context of
love
the
it.
lore, they owe them their land because Gondor was literally, all right, you're allowed to settle here now. After helping
Yeah,
them
that's right.
kick out the Dunlendings.
But
This
where
is
was
the
Gondor
equivalent
when
of
Westeros
the
fell?
it's the equivalent of the Monty
Gondor?
Python. What have the Romans ever done for us? Well, apart from the aqueducts, sanitation,
Medicine.
the school, medicine, rule of law, judicial
That was
system.
all a really long time ago.
What have the
we
Romans
forgot.
ever done for us? And I won't be going alone.
I
I
like
think
how
this is
Gandalf
really
the White
sad.
is like all
When Pippin's-
Yeah, with Pippin and Merry, this part always gets me.
Yeah, because Merry realizes that they might not see each other again. This might be it, and Pippin just is so naive, and he's kind of angry. He loves his friend, but he's angry at him because he doesn't get it. It's so sweet. It's like a breakup.
Well, they've been together for like their whole lives, basically.
I think it's just so sad. This could have been it.
And it's always Merry looking after Pippin, and now he can't.
Yeah.
and that
Come
little
on.
interaction with Aragorn at the end as well. It's really sweet.
Yeah. How far is Minas Tirith? Bless. And then you get the little Shire theme coming through.
Aww.
Oh.
Pippin
Oh,
knows
no,
that the shit got real when Merry gives him the leaf. That's when it hits him.
But even that's shade. Like, I know you've run out because you haven't rationed yours properly because you're such a little scamp.
But it's in good humor.
Yeah. And then finally Pippin gets it as he's riding off.
And the music is
Merry!
I
beautiful.
always feel bad for this one Rohirrim guard who gets pushed by Merry and then gets pushed by Aragorn.
He's had a bad day.
He's like, God damn it.
I hate when the major characters roll in. Just ruin everything.
So do you think there used to be a forest there and then they built Mediceld and now there's no trees left?
Does he have to ride through the
No!
water? Isn't
Don't
that
tell
like
the
really
ants.
unsafe?
I think that's just the landscape. I was always there to get him out. Bless. It's like the definition of friendship, isn't it? We get into trouble, but we always get each other out. He's a took.
Casual familial
I like the way they
racism
say
of
took.
hobbits.
It's like took. Okay, so this listener, if you're still watching with us, is Arwen's dream, and it's a scene that was as in the theatrical release.
So feel free to go get a drink.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
snacks.
boring as a motherfucker. So basically, she just decides she's not going to go west. But
What do you
And then we
mean? It's
have-
got the fucking poem and everything, and it's got the
I'm making nachos.
I just love how elves actually walk in slow mo. That's how they move around.
They could have
Yeah.
avoided that by just
And-
having the forging of Andúril in the Fellowship like it's supposed to.
Yeah.
Zach, stop triggering Shellfish.
And this like this vision of old man Aragorn and his son is so,
Yeah.
so beautiful as well.
This scene always reminds me too of the first episode of Game of Thrones when it's like, "It's too hot, my lady." Just this random elf gets this one line like, "My lady."
That kid needs a haircut, though.
Nothing wrong with long hair, is there?
Are you feeling attacked right now, Shellfish?
So fucking attacked.
Oh no, honey.
Arwen's like, maybe I shouldn't have taken those edibles before I hit on the road.
Poor Liv Tyler has very little to do except look a bit weepy, pathetic.
Yeah.
Which, as against the story as it would be, I'm kind of mad that she didn't end up going to Helm's Deep.
Oh my god.
No, I'm
been
glad
awful.
she didn't go to Helm's Deep. That would have pissed me off way more.
You see, like this one elf.
Is that the guy from Flight of the Conchords?
Yeah.
Is it?
Is it?
It's Brett McKenzie, isn't it?
Is it really?
Yeah, he plays Lindir in The Fellowship of the Ring and this one and the first Hobbit movie.
That is just brilliant. Ah, so now we're going to have the reforging of the sword. Daddy, make my boyfriend a sword. He is not a suitable boy. This is very Asian.
Is he just the only person in Rivendell?
Yeah, because everyone else is buggered off and he stayed behind to handily make a
Yeah,
sword.
everyone else is leaving.
Arwen, it's just really weird because we're related, but by weird degrees.
So this reforging scene is as in the theatrical cut. And I have to whisper because I'm an elf. Setting back feminism 50 years.
Is there something wrong with whispering?
It's just like, it's so pathetic, isn't it?
Whispering enables a patriarchy, Shellfish.
Yeah, dude.
Oh, I hadn't realized.
So she never
Oh yeah,
speaks.
this
She
sword.
doesn't speak full-throatedly in the entire 3 films. It's like,
Yeah, it's a bit weird when compared to her natural voice.
yeah, there's like 10 hours of video and like she doesn't speak normally in any of it.
She actually does. I mean, her actual voice, Liv Tyler, is just kind of like that, actually.
It's much deeper though here. Like I in one of the cast commentaries on the DVD, she talks about how they were trying to figure out like what a good voice would be, and it was just making it.
It's a little bit exaggerated.
This is another beautiful tableau, like her with her hair falling and the dress. It's like out of a picture.
Yeah, I think this is her most beautiful dress. The one in this
And just
scene.
the tableau. I mean, I would have that as a poster. It's beautiful. And the sleeves.
And that bit about your hands are cold, that's kind of...
Yeah, I think. Yeah, this
So
is
they
now
go
she's-
straight to the human stereotypical female of her hands being cold.
No, she's becoming mortal. Because she's
Exactly.
chosen to stay.
That was a joke.
So when
sorry.
you want to become mortal, how does it work? Does Daddy just let you become
I don't
mortal?
know.
Does he say a spell or like...
Well, you start by having circulatory problems.
I think once.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think once you've made your choice, that
Right.
means.
It just happens. Yeah.
Yeah.
No daughter of mine is going to become mortal before she's 563.
Isn't she like 800 years old?
So
Okay, well
when
that's
she-
handy. He's not the last elf in Rivendell. There are people to sort of do the bellows and reforge the sword. So despite having sent everyone to the West, they've kept enough people.
They
to
got a
make
few
military
people.
grade weapons.
Elves are expensive.
skeleton crew up in there, and things will float.
Okay, boys and girls, we are now coming up to the scene Minas Tirith, which is an extended scene from.
We just passed into the realm of Gondor, is where we are.
Thank you, Captain. Explanation.
Da, da.
Well, it's like the GPS. You are now entering the realm of Gondor.
I mean, that's a pretty fucking cool shot, though.
So the reason why I wouldn't want to live in like Meduseld or Rivendell or even Minas Tirith is they all are great, obviously, but they feel so diminished. It's like you're living in a hall of someone that was great before.
Yeah.
Yeah, Minas Tirith
Well, not
especially.
Rivendell.
Also, with
Rivendell
Minas
is-
Tirith, you're walking up and downhill all fucking day.
Well, then you may as well just be in
that
just
also
the
works,
Shire.
right?
Because the Shire is the only place that isn't diminished. If it is
Exactly, yeah. The Shire's the only like
It's a
lively
vibrant-
place.
Yeah, it's still blooming and sort of like, but it doesn't have that long noble history to it, so it's.
But you
I
know,
don't know
you
if
would
it's
be
less
walking up and
historic.
down every day. You'd be riding up and down on a horse.
Yeah.
If you're one of the, if you can afford one. So.
Yeah, so we would be riding. I mean, like I
Oh, we
don't choose
get to be the
live in
best
in a
people.
fantasy world and imagine
Yeah.
myself peasant. I imagine myself
Fair
an
enough.
aristocrat.
No, I would be the rat catcher in Minas Tirith.
I'd live at like the Lonely Mountain or something.
Oh, the White Tree of Gondor.
I will say on the Shire though, you're in the worst area overall because the ruined northern kingdoms is probably the worst spot to be in general.
Yeah, with the trolls and the orcs and the wargs and all that.
But then you're also the farthest away from Sauron, right?
Yeah, if you're living in Minas Tirith, Satan is literally right behind those mountains.
That would be stressful.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd be more for like Lake Town or the Lonely Mountain.
Yeah, Lake Town would be fun.
How is it just not shower? Final answer. Oh boy.
Baby Varley is excited.
That's like
to
a
meet
horrific
Denethor.
statue.
Yeah, she keeps on sneaking into the room.
These are great scenes as well with Denethor.
Something about the chair below the chair. I just love that.
I do like how Gandalf makes sure to hit that steward line.
I hate
Gandalf. So good.
the interior design of this. It seems like a douchebaggy 80s, like modern black and white granite bullshit.
Must be, yeah.
I've been sitting here with this broken thorn for weeks. Horn just waiting for
Do you
someone
think-
to show up.
I think that is what he was doing. Just plotting this moment very carefully.
All right, Pippin, just shut up.
I think the guy who plays Denethor gives a really good performance as well, but it kind of fades into the background because you love to hate him, but sort of like it's really well done.
Oh yeah, he's good at making you hate him. Absolutely.
Even
You
though
guys
in the
ever
books
watch Sleepy Hollow with him?
Oh, the Johnny Depp one?
No, the TV show.
Oh, yeah. He was in that?
Yeah.
I remember he was... Oh, you're right, yeah. I remember he was good in that. He was in Fringe, too. He was the like, crazy old father, but then like he played, like, the alternate reality version of himself. He was very good at kind of
I think he played the same character in Sleepy Hollow.
My lord, there will be a time.
Guys, we can't just get into it. We have to talk about it.
Yeah, I like
Okay.
that.
Yeah.
Pippin's
I was just watching the scene.
I like Pippin sort of like becoming more noble and being inspired to like do his duty or pay Boromir back. That's kind of a nice touch.
And of course,
Yeah.
Gandalf can't take any of
Yeah,
that.
the language he uses is very,
Yeah, it's
yeah,
sort of high.
actually very well for the guy.
Yeah, he really steps up and succeeds in it. I will not bow to this ranger from the north.
Time for the movie title.
Yeah, get ready for the mic drop. Boom!
Steward!
Do you think that's what's going to happen if Trump loses the election and refuses to give up the White House? I will not bow to this ranger from the
We
north.
need a Gandalf.
Yeah, I feel like his staff will just be leaving and be like, wait, what?
I don't
Dude.
know.
Oh,
I don't
look at
know
that
if I
dirty
could
cloak.
picture Biden Aragorn. It'd be very awkward.
This next scene is one of my favorites as well. Such beautiful language. The decline of Gondor.
This is my favorite part of this setting. This kind of stuff.
Yeah, just the decay and the like.
Yeah, the Citadel guards look so cool.
But also, when you don't you have some
They
sympathy
really
for
do.
them? When you open up the doors and then you see, Mordor straight ahead, do you not understand more and empathize with more about how they would fall into despair? Like, you realize in that scene when they open the doors just how close it was. I remember the first time I watched this in the cinema, that scene really impacted me because I was just like, oh my god, like if you're just living in the face of that.
And you can see why you would think that anyone else should not be respected to the same degree because of the sacrifice you're making.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. But also why Boromir then want to take the ring as a weapon. He has lived with a danger in his face.
And why Denethor? Yeah, and why Denethor went into the Palantir, right?
Exactly.
There's the convenient little suicide jumping hole at the wall there.
There's a sign next to it that says "Insert stewards here."
Denethor only.
Kingsgrave.
I do wonder, like, looking at the imagery here, and obviously mountains are hard. It's like an army of men would never do it. But the way that, like, goblins and stuff can, traverse mountains, like, how come, like, they never got a bunch, like, went up and over the mountain, held down or something?
Well, I mean, the Gondorians have been keeping them at bay across the river, so it's not like they can just walk to the city. But now they're being sort of beaten back.
Got the Rangers doing guerrilla warfare.
Faramir. Up in Ithilien.
Back to the Shire?
Where
Well,
are we?
Gandalf, this is the most fucked up place you brought me to.
I mean, you kind of pledged yourself, kid.
Yeah.
Aw, Sam, it's tea time.
We aren't in decent places. Thank you for that, Gollum.
He's
I
right.
hadn't realized.
Frodo's like, if I take one more step, it's going to be the furthest from the Shire I've ever been.
True facts. Every step.
Is this
So who marked up this thing? Like who put that graffiti on there?
The orcs. They're dicks.
Okay.
it works.
Okay.
Oh, this is the beautiful scene with the head of the statue and the crown of flowers.
Yep. And
That
again,
weird
that
kind of
nobility of what came before, and it's just all been defaced and desecrated.
Yeah, the beard on the statue kind of looked sort of Babylonian to me. Those ancient statues.
I did like this part of the Crossroads chapter in the books.
Yeah, and when the captains of the West marched to the Black Gate, they set the head back on the statue.
That's right.
I can't believe this is a genuinely newly included scene, and I just can't believe they didn't think it was.
I mean, there's so many scenes, right? Like, you got to make hard cuts, I'm sure.
Well, there's also, I don't know if it's in the movie, but there's a scene in Mordor where Sam looks up and briefly sees like Arendelle, the Star of Arendelle or something. And it says it smote his heart to see something so beautiful even for a second.
Yeah, that is in the movie, thankfully.
So I imagine this is just ceremonial.
Now, this is one of the most moving scenes, I think. They're just what it means to be on the eve of battle without your friend.
The deep breath before the plunge.
An extended scene.
Nice touch where Gandalf is coughing.
Don't smoke, kids.
That's the kind of lovely detail you get with a Shakespearean actor, my friend. Bit of early onset emphysema.
Or just smoking some dank buds.
Little
Oh,
COVID
Gandalf's
19.
getting toasted tonight.
That classic Shakespearean trope of early onset lung cancer.
But I do like it because it's this really quiet, calm scene. You're about to enter this like mad rush of this movie and all the action, but just to have this.
Yeah, we get a lot of these. Really, the calm before the storm for all the characters.
Deep
Yeah,
rest
Minas
before
Tirith
the
is
plunge.
like kind of a still place of kind of dying and
Only a fool's hope.
And so inorganic, like there's no color, there's no warmth. It just feels so dead and cold.
yeah, and even the sound is there's creaking and cracks in the walls, and
Yeah.
it's in decay. If only someone would come and restore it to its former glory.
If only
That
a
would be the
hero
day.
would come.
Gimli.
Olifants.
Olive.
Oh, there's the pirates.
Gotta love it.
There's Peter Jackson.
There he is.
This will be the end of Gondor. I love that phrase, hear the hammer stroke all hardest.
Yeah.
But this is a bit Basil exposition. It's kind of trying to explain to the audience there's going to be a 2-part battle, right? This one's going to fall, then there's going to be that one.
Oh boy. This is pretty badass.
Witch King is so cool.
I'm glad we're doing this in 2 parts. I want to be fresh for the big battle. We can't have talked for 2 hours before we get to it.
Yeah, this
Did anyone
movie is
see
a
the orc
marathon.
fingernails? Ooh.
That's a scary helmet.
And the Witch King is probably one of the coolest villains in film.
Oh,
Just
he's
in
great.
design.
I don't know. I think Janice Soprano is much worse.
My favorite part's when he says, "Hinder me." That's my favorite.
Yeah, that's epic.
Yeah, when are we gonna do the 1977 and 1980 cartoon watches?
Where there's a
We
whip.
should get toasted for those.
The
I've never
dialogue of
actually
that is
watched
so
those. Are
weird.
they any good?
No, they're not good.
I enjoy The Hobbit because it's supposed to be goofy. It's
Yeah,
very
The
much a
Hobbit
Nimoy
we
singing
would watch
story.
on like a rainy day at school, so I always loved that one. I never saw Lord of the Rings, but I feel like the Hobbit cartoon has a charm to it. And you got Leonard Nimoy singing The Hobbit.
Okay, listener,
really-
we're on to Minas Morgul.
I
How
love
do you
the
think-
corpse light.
How do
effect.
they make that light? Like, what's the method of creating that?
Magic.
Okay,
Computers.
I was talking in universe. But
Just a bunch of lost souls.
yeah.
Yeah, corpses.
That's not a stair. That's like a stone ladder. Like, doesn't work.
It's hidden Varley for a reason.
I think I would like to live in Minas Morgul.
Yeah, seems like a nice place.
I feel like if you'd walk up and you'd like have to turn around because all of a sudden you'd start hearing like.
Yeah, it's probably a permanent raven there.
Yeah.
That's what the corpse light is for.
I love how there's a scene that's called Sam's Warning. And it just feels like the whole film is Sam's Warning.
Yeah, just call the movie that.
So there is something to be said for Gollum being a ring bearer as long as he was, and like he never felt this call to walk over to the enemy. You know.
Yeah.
Gandalf's like, "Oh fuck, that's not good."
Yep. Glad
Yeah,
I'm
what
wearing
the
my
fuck's
brown
going on?
pants.
FYI, Sam's Warning is a new scene.
Gandalf's like, oh, that's not normal.
This is a little bit He-Man Masters of the Universe, though, let's be honest.
It is, yeah. But this
It's
is in the
their
book.
beacon.
Nothing wrong with that.
And there's nothing wrong with it.
Hey, I'm not saying there is. I used to love that show as a kid.
Just a big old light show.
I mean, the Witch King in that cartoon is basically Skeletors.
Yeah, exactly. Skeletor was awesome. Yeah, that's pretty gnarly. Good for the dragoning.
In the books, doesn't he sense the ring or something and sends like a patrol of orcs to check it out?
Yeah.
Oh, I love that. You can feel his blade.
Yeah. Whenever Sauron is trying to probe him, he feels it in his wound, his dagger wound.
I've actually had to dream a few times that I was one of the ring wraiths, and it was a good dream because it was so cool.
Really? That sounds like a nightmare.
Did you do anything particularly evil?
No, I just felt really powerful and scary.
Were you riding a drake or what?
No, a horse, I think.
A horse, okay. I feel like it's very hard to conjure the feeling of riding a flying animal.
I have lots of dreams where I'm flying, or I'm trying to fly, like I'm trying to run and fly, like you would, when you run and then you fly, but it's not working. Probably very deep and meaningful.
Yeah, I have those as well. Like when I'm running and leaping and sort of gliding.
Yeah, exactly.
And then I fly too high and I'm like, oh, this is bad, I'm gonna fall.
Yeah, I have that too.
With me, it's more like not getting enough elevation, like being trapped sort of like 6 feet above Earth, but not getting far enough away. Gondor. Oh, poor Gandalf. What can he do? Nothing useful as usual.
Yes, Mithrandir is completely useless. Did nothing at all to help Middle-earth.
Ever. What did the Romans ever do for us?
Ill news is an ill guest.
What did Mithrandir ever do? Sam's warning. Listen to Sam, people. Listen to Sam.
This scary tunnel will be fine.
Pippin, how are your rock climbing skills?
Oh, I really like this
So
scene.
why don't... Yeah, the scene's great, but why didn't Denethor light the beacons?
Okay,
In the
listener,
books
we're
he
on to
did.
Pippin's
In the books he
task.
did.
Yeah, that's... Well, in
They've
the
just
books,
make him
like
really
a
evil in
bunch
the
of
movie.
like, especially Prince Dal Amroth or whatever.
The prince of the Swan Prince. I was so
Yeah.
sad not to see him. He sounded awesome.
Because
There's a lot of cool
lots of
characters.
like people come to Gondor's help, and here it just looks
Yeah,
like
and you get a sense of the wideness and richness of the world. That men,
Yeah,
there
here
are
it
other
literally
men.
just feels like one city. Like that's everybody.
That there's about 100 men in the entirety of Middle Earth.
Why I'm bummed out that they had the ghosts come to the battle rather than the remaining
First
Lords of
Faramir
Gondor.
sighting. Shh.
Everyone quiet. It's Faramir.
We've sent scouts.
Osgiliath, man. That must be the saddest place to live in Middle Earth. I mean, if Gondor in
yeah.
general has declined, this must
Easy.
be the most depressing place to be.
I like in the books how they describe this as they built rafts on the other side of the river and then swam across like beetles.
That's a great description. Yeah.
Okay, so the invasion of Osgiliath is a very extended scene.
Yep.
It's very cool. I think it's really well done. This guy with the weird ears and the disformed face, he always reminds me of Chunk in the Goonies. Like if Chunk in the Goonies was an evil orc, that's what he would look like.
I think the character's name is Gothmog, who I believe is someone else in like the Silmarillion, like either a Balrog or a.
Yeah, Gothmog was Lord of the Balrogs.
Yeah.
I think it was
He's
smart
also
to
played
include
by the
that.
same actor, I think, that plays like one of the Urukai.
Gotta reuse the orc actors heavily.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'd say it's smart to include a general on the ground, not just the Witch King. I think that was a good idea.
Do they really need 50 guys to inspect that one guy catching an arrow to do something?
They all want to stand around and look at Faramir with hair waving in the breeze. I'm already getting nervous about the Shelob scene.
No problem.
I like how this is the equivalent of Normandy landing craft, where the front goes down and the troops march out. Deeply cool. No helmets, I noticed.
I feel like this is the most relatable battle
There are
scene.
never any helmets.
I mean, there are some helmets, but not
Well,
everyone.
the dude got shot in the arrow who was wearing a helmet. Not a good one.
Well, to be fair, these are rangers, right? So I don't think rangers wear helmets.
Rangers wear leather.
Yeah, but
Exactly.
after you've been
Fight scene 'cause
fighting
it's
the
sort of
forces.
brutish and
Sorry, Peter.
kind of a brawl, and like it feels very sort of, I don't know, more realistic that they're more unskilled fighters rather than heroes fighting the orcs. I suppose they are professional soldiers, but anyway.
But, you know, they've
Yeah, I
been
mean,
fighting.
every guy in armor I'm seeing is getting bitched, right?
By this point, how long has it been known that Sauron has troops and has been skirmishing? Like, at this point, wouldn't they have forged armor and tooled up? I mean...
Well, I mean, Boromir won back the Osgiliath crossing before he went up to Rivendell, so no, I think.
Yeah, don't we get a flashback, or is that a fully deleted scene?
That was last movie.
Oh, it was in the last movie, okay.
Yeah.
Listener, we're on the lighting of the beacons, which is so cool.
This is where I
Yeah.
want to live. One of these
In the beacon.
Just that image of each,
I wanna live in that,
each
yeah.
successive beacon lighting up. I love that.
Yeah, it's so
I want to live in that flyover shot.
Exactly. I want to live in one of those tiny huts,
Oh, shit.
just waiting for the chance to light my beacon.
It'd be like the lighthouse.
You've got to figure this isn't the first time the beacon has been lit by accident, though. Especially given how much everyone smokes from pipes.
Imagine how bad that would be, though, if it was lit by accident, because there's no way to communicate the fact that it was an accident.
Yeah. Like someone turns up with an army like, sorry guys.
I guess you just send a rider out
Yeah, get on
to
the
meet them
GPS and
halfway.
tell them.
It is cool though. It's just so hopeful.
Like, I don't understand why Denethor didn't light the beacons.
Because he's in despair. He thinks it's pointless fighting. He thinks it's all over.
Ugh.
I mean,
But
the
in the
signal
books he
beacon thing is
does.
so cool.
Matt, have you never felt like you didn't want to ask a friend to hang out because you thought they wouldn't want to hang out anyway, so you didn't?
It's just like that.
Too afraid to have the party in case no one shows up.
Yeah, exactly. This is so cool. The music is so majestic.
I see waving his torch around.
And the way
I'm
they
so
kind
excited.
of
It's that big
180
day.
degree rotate
We did it.
the camera to show the next one, and then yeah, they rotate around. So good.
Yeah, imagine how many years those guys have been sitting up there doing
Yeah,
nothing.
he's like, look,
They're like,
he's
you
like,
finally got
listen,
to
Carl,
fucking
I've
light
been
it.
waiting to light this beacon
All
for
right,
20 years.
but now your life has no purpose because you just burned the thing.
Like,
And
all
the
right,
thing
let's
is,
go
you're
gather
sitting
some
on
more
top of a
wood.
mountain, waiting to light a beacon, but it's in the snow, so you must be lighting a lot of fires. But then there's a beacon right next to you. This has to have happened by mistake before.
Oh, this shot. Just
Let's be honest, okay?
chef's
This
kiss.
This is
scene
the
is
New Zealand
incredibly
tourist
unrealistic
workshop.
because
Yeah.
you know Denethor would have defunded the.
Oh yeah.
Here we go. We're getting there. Getting to the Medjugorje.
I like how quickly
yes.
Theoden does a 180 right here.
Yeah.
What if Aragorn just tripped and fell?
This is such a cool
He's like,
scene.
it'd be like that Family Guy bit where he's like, ah, ah.
So this is one of my favorite scenes as well.
It's so good.
Godzilla calls for aid.
Emir's armor looks badass.
And Rohan will
I love Theoden.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
Oh, yes.
I mean, Theoden has the most lines you chill.
Well, the
Yeah.
funny thing is they gave Theoden all of Eomer's best lines also. They just gave him all the good stuff.
So they basically
Yeah.
did Éomer dirty too.
True.
Like
I
the
love-
whole ruin thing, Éomer says that in the book.
But that is like full in the whole film. It's almost like a visual relief to see Rohan after Gondor. It's like, oh, there's color again. There's beauty.
Yeah.
I feel kind of like I'm drinking it in and rehydrating after Gondor. Look at that. The
I'm doing the same
majesty
thing
of
with
the
Gatorade
marching
right
out.
now.
Got more
Just
blood in them
amazing.
than the Gondorians.
A gentleman does not pull up a woman's blanket to see her sword.
That's right. Untoward.
There was no consent there. That was a bit cheeky.
I hate how this relationship is like an afterthought in the movies.
Yeah.
But it's nice to have it a little bit, though.
Yeah. And to parallel it to Pippin with Denethor, who's obviously a far less worthy recipient of such noble offer of service.
I fucking loved Theoden's delivery of that. And gladly I accept it, like he's so gentle and kind.
Yeah, he gets that this is the biggest moment of Merry's life. He doesn't patronize him. It's so fatherly. It's just
Dream
beautiful.
dad.
He is. He's just lovely. I mean, of course, he wasn't for the years when he wasn't, but he's back.
Well, that's part of what makes him such a great character, is he went through all that turmoil.
But before
So-
that,
Merry.
he was father to Éomer and Eowyn, right? So he was a good
Merry
father
can't
before.
get his horse to go.
Sometimes
It's
it
a nice
needs a little warming
extended
up.
scene. I just
This
love that you
face
have the
Eomer
time
gives
to
here
see
is so
it.
good.
And he's thinking, am I ever going to see this place again? No.
Now is the hour. Oh, yes.
Riders of Rohan. At least Éomer gets this speech.
Carl
This is
Urban
a
is
cool
just
speech.
always good.
You know who
Right?
really got done dirty? Erkenbrand.
He was so good
Who?
in The Boys.
Yeah, Carl Urban, I think he just
Yeah,
always brings it.
Erkenbrand
Here we go, boys.
is
Merry
Erkenbrand
got
even
his
in the movie?
I don't think
No.
they
I
ever
don't
say
think
his
so.
name.
Neither is Elfhelm, and that sucks.
Yeah.
Okay, boys and girls, listener, we are on to the Fall of Osgiliath, which is an extended scene as well.
They've been fighting all night.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it seems like right now the troops in Osgiliath are just like bending over backwards to die. It looks like there's a lot more of them in scenes, but they're still going to.
I love that little nest of archers. Just a cool city combat thing.
Yeah, where have they been the whole night?
Just waiting for Faramir to come along.
We write the minister.
Oh, I like that. I like that orc with that big hammer thing.
Yeah, the men are just getting clobbered. It's very brutal.
So imagine you're already getting your ass kicked, and then those guys
And
show
then
up.
dragons show up.
It's like you just get the Debbie Downer trombone the entire time.
But why didn't they show up at the start?
They had to fly all the way over here. I don't know.
I mean, because I mean, you know, what, arrows can still hurt them. You don't want like hundreds of archers ready to shoot at you, right? You want chaos.
Yeah, and they've got plenty of orcs to throw at them.
It might just be like a battle strategy, like they want to just really hit the nail in the coffin with the morale defeat at the last moment.
Oh dear.
Oh, not that guy.
That's the guy who
Shit.
said Nazgul.
It's the Goonies gone wrong.
I think with Gothmog you really start to see Peter Jackson's sort of like obsession with the grotesque. Like
Yeah.
It-
The
it's so
brain
very-
dead Peter Jackson.
so lumpy and diseased looking, and the goblins on the Hobbit films.
So yeah, I mean, right here they're riding out from Osgiliath, and there's like at least there's like probably like 100 of them riding out, and they're just getting picked off one by one.
Oh my god, the scene with Gandalf is. Ugh.
Gorgeous.
The wizard's pupil.
Yeah.
Yeah, the music is just it's angelic.
Yeah.
That's a white
What did
And
rider.
also, he
Reindeer
takes
ever do?
Pippin with him for no apparent reason. There's no need for
Yeah.
Pippin to be on
They
that.
might need
Yeah,
Pippin.
why does
Just
he
to make
have
sure Pippin doesn't
with
get
it?
murdered.
Oh. There's no need whatsoever. And the
Like,
staff,
enjoy sunlight,
so
bitch.
good.
Jeez.
Some vitamin D for you boys.
And I know they
Little
talk
of
about
that-
this on
little of that UV.
DVDs.
One
As
of the
with
cool,
COVID, as with the Nazgul.
One of the cool things about the way Gandalf uses magic is it's not super intense. It's not like he shot a fireball at one of the Nazgul. It's kind of understated, but still really majestic.
But
Yeah.
he could if he wanted
would
to,
have
Zach.
helped,
He could if he wanted
Yeah.
to.
If you wanted to call down lightning and just kill them all, that'd be great too.
And I love this, just seeing the, the urban geography of Minas Tirith.
Yeah, and I like the interaction between Faramir and Gandalf as well.
Yeah.
And they have a history in the books.
The wizard's pupil.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, you seen a
Pippin's
halfling
like, dude,
before?
what are you looking at, man? You're making me uncomfortable.
Oh yeah, so I guess Mary's there just so that, or Pippin's there just so that.
Yeah, but Pippin
can have
could have
this moment.
been waiting for them to return.
Yeah. He could have just been hanging out at the statue.
This is their first confirmation Frodo and Sam are alive, aren't they?
Ooh.
Yeah, the relief is really good.
Yeah.
Shelob.
But then
Oh,
they're
there
like,
goes
they're going
Shelob, though.
to they're cool. They're like, oh, no more relief.
Du-du-du.
I like in the books how
Tell me all.
Faramir reports this, and Gandalf's like visibly frightened and shaking and grabbing onto
Yeah.
his chair.
Denethor's such a
Oh,
dick.
Denethor. What a dick.
This is some of the
Because
most
Shelob is as old as Gandalf, right? Or was that
Yeah, they were in the same class together.
Shelob's mother?
I wouldn't say she
Went to
loves
elementary
old
school
as
together.
Gandalf, but she's descended from Ungoliant.
Because Gandalf's as old as Ungoliant, right? Or just about.
Yeah, Gandalf's
right,
a Maiar,
I
so
see.
he's been in existence since the beginning.
Yeah, but how old is Ungoliant? She came from the nothingness. But she may have existed before the music of the...
Fair, but this is Shelob.
This is the whole point. I would not take the ring if everything were destroyed, because it would be our destruction. Oh, fuck off, Denethor.
Ever you desire to appear lordly as a king of old.
I don't need to appear it, dude. I am it.
Boromir is my good son.
This is just like The Sopranos.
This family
much
drama.
So
Yeah,
much
this is
toxic
spit.
family
Yeah,
dysfunction.
put a mask on, dude. You're spreading coronavirus.
Yeah, there's a lot of spitting going on in Denethor's performance.
Have you ever
It's
been
actually-
so angry you fell backwards?
I really love this performance because, in a way, if you talk about it, Denethor's performance could be very hammy and very ridiculous, and yet somehow he pulls it off in the context of everything else. Like, it's so ridiculously over the top, and yet it works.
I do
It's
find
kinda
that
bold.
the moment where Boromir shows up a little too ridiculous, but
Yeah.
it's fun. He's going mad.
Going?
A little ways along.
Oh dear.
Oh,
Poor
boy.
Denethor. Driven mad by grief and despair.
And arrogance.
Yep.
This would not be fun to climb.
The stairs of Cirith Ungol.
No, I'm getting vertigo like when the shot looks down like that.
So this scene is as in the theatrical edition.
Like, fuck that heights right there.
I'm not sure I'd have the calf muscles to do it. I mean, it's ridiculous.
Oh, yeah.
That time.
I would be dead.
Let alone the vertigo.
Hobbits are hardy folk.
Where are the eagles when you
Foolhardy,
need them?
maybe.
Yeah, I used to do rock climbing, but that was like 100 pounds ago, and it was not, easy. So, poor Sam.
Oh, don't dangle the ring in Smeagol's face.
He can't help himself. Come on. Don't do that to Smeagol.
Don't enable him.
Yet again, it's
Oh,
just Sam's
Smeagol's the
warning,
worst.
Sam's just getting gaslit this whole movie.
basically. Come on, fat hobbits.
Master carries a heavy burden. Smeagol knows.
Oh, that's so funny. These are the scenes I typically forward, though, in fairness.
Oh yeah, definitely.
When you're trying to get it down to a sensible 2.5 hour Sunday afternoon watch. And obviously Shelob, because that's just scary. But that's for next episode.
Love him just chilling on that broken building.
Yeah, it's just like I'm observing all my conquered areas.
Okay.
Dean, are you particularly afraid of spiders?
Yes, I am.
Good to know.
Good to know.
Why? What are you planning?
You'll see. You'll see.
That sounded really evil.
Rohan's army come.
Courage is the best defense. That's what this chapter is
everyone's-
called, and I feel that's what I shall take as my personal motto
Yeah.
against
go.
whatever Shellfish is planning.
Shellfish is collecting the greatest fears of everyone.
Courage, Bina. Courage for our friends.
Courage is the best defense.
I like
The scene
the
between
Witch King's Drogo line there, that he'll break them.
Peregrine of the Tower Guard. Even the outfit, like that doublet in black, is just so evil and lacking in anything.
Even now, he won't wear shoes.
Faram is just so lovely to him, though.
Yeah, it's a really lovely scene. They both sort of like give each other a pep talk.
Mm.
I'd say Faramir is my second favorite character in the movie, but he doesn't get better in the movie like Theoden does.
Oh yeah, the arc isn't. I mean, he just starts off good and is good.
Yeah, I mean, I guess he finds better friends. So
True.
that's his arc.
Finds the hot princess bride.
As he should.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're
They
in it.
deserve each other in the best way. It's kind of interesting how Faramir and Pippin kind of have the same hair color. It's almost like they're the two good guys in Minas Tirith, trapped in this nasty black and white place.
Okay.
The two gingers.
The two gingers. Okay, listener, we're on to Allegiance to Denethor. It's chapter 26, as in the theatrical cut.
Pippin
You know,
wrote
my
this
hair
on
is
eyelids.
pretty dark, and I don't feel like I'm a evil black and white Gondorian or anything like that.
I like
And this
this
is
like subtle, underhanded.
Like, so,
threat.
like, contrast this with Theoden. It's
Kiss
so,
the ring.
he's almost laughing at him. It's so,
very
it's so patronizing.
True.
Oh man,
I mean, he lets him do it, but it's, ugh.
this is brutal.
Back to
Literally
eating
sending
grapes
out
in
your
the worst
son to
possible way.
die.
Oh, just yeah, exactly. I can never get that out of my head. Like just him eating grapes.
And also
Destroying
grapes and
the
tomatoes. What is going on with the tomatoes?
I just,
Was there,
I just
like,
picked 2 tomatoes looking just like that out of my garden this morning.
So
Do
did he
them
like
like
sit
Peter.
in the mirror and practice eating food in the most disgusting way?
Probably.
Now Denethor would bite it like this, and his mouth would go wide, spill out the sides.
Oh my god. Oh.
What's wrong, Zach?
Ouch.
When he says yes, it's just the most brutal.
Yes, exactly.
Well, honesty is the best policy.
Can you imagine your own father saying that?
I can't wait to say that to my daughter.
Yeah.
As you eat messily.
Yeah. No, the
Good
line I
eat from your
really can't
tomato
wait
garden.
to tell my daughter is, your father is old, but he's not yet a dotard, like in the books.
Nice.
Oh, I love that line. Since you are Robert of Boromir, I will do what I can in his stead.
So tragic that he's just going to sacrifice himself.
But then the sharp, that would depend on the manner of your return. It's like,
I know,
oh my
he's such
gosh,
a
wow.
dick.
He should have just like left the gates and then just kind of veered off. We're
Kind
gonna
of
get him
like a
from behind,
Tywin
Dad.
response.
Did anyone else notice Gollum's nasty elbow open wounds?
I usually
Uh,
just notice how
do you-
nasty Gollum is in general.
Why did you
No,
have
but
to
they just
point
look
out the
like they
most
hurt.
disgusting
Look
things?
look at that! Imagine getting like lemon juice or something in those. Oh,
Look at his knees.
Stop!
I work in surgery, Matt. I've seen much worse.
but Nadia will never be able to unsee those wounds again.
Oh, so this is the parting of Sam and Frodo, which is the scene that's as in the theatrical trailer. Sorry, the theatrical cut. And it gives me the heebie-jeebies, sleeping on the ledge like that.
Yeah, I could never do this. Sleep right next to a ledge.
Oh,
Don't
he
try
is
this
like,
at home, kids.
Gollum is so. She's like, I'm gonna put some crumsies over here, and then goodbye, bread. Oh man.
Yeah, there's a lot of malicious glee in that.
You see how far that bread fell? Now remember that when Sam finds it.
Smeagol shows them secret ways that nobody else can find. And they're so sneak!
Why is
Guys,
Sam
you can't
tightening
just-
his belt?
Just straight up
I
hearing
know.
you through his now, brother.
Vassal pushes forward.
I just think it's so sad because he has succeeded. He's parted Sam from Frodo.
Yeah, it's
Or
right.
like he's like, what were you doing? I was sneaking. Oh, whatever. Don't tell me the truth.
He
No,
was. He was.
He's telling you that he was honest pretty much the whole time.
Well, not so much.
Well, no, I mean in this scene. Oh, our food is gone.
Don't love the delivery on that by Rhoda there.
Poor Sam.
I like Gollum's acting here.
Oh, innocent Smeagol? What did I do?
That scratching the head of who could have done this?
I know.
So evil.
A crumb lie here, and then here. A hobbit ate bread.
Oh, what's this?
I can never tell if I feel worse for Sam or Faramir. In this little
I just
sequence.
like in this scene, I kind of feel like Gollum should have reached behind his ears and been like, "What's behind your ear? Ooh, it's crumbs."
He just pulls the ring out from behind his ear.
Look at Sam throwing haymakers.
Yeah, all that frustration from all that trudging is finally coming out here.
See now, and this is the part where you're like, they're on a narrow ledge where Gollum threw the bread over. He could have just pushed Sam over and then stabbed Frodo if this was like his grand plan. Quite elaborate.
But he's doing the workaround, like he promised not to kill Frodo, so she liable. Carry the load.
Carry the load.
Share the load.
It's so creepy in slow-mo.
Yeah.
That's a great when Sam says that thing around your neck and Frodo's expression changes and he's like, what the fuck did you say about my precious?
And that evil look from Smeagol. I got him. I got your friend. Now fuck off, Sam. No one wants you here. Heartbreaking.
So sad.
I'm your Sam.
Frodo, you're.
He's a liar. He's poisoned you against me. He's poisoned you against me.
You've done that yourself.
So-
Sorry.
Yeah. Oh, heartbreaking.
I see through the lies of
What
the
kind
Jedi.
of shit is that? Telling them to go
home.
Yeah,
Frodo
go
just
home.
sentences
Like,
him to death.
Can't
Just go
he's
die.
literally in Mordor. He can't just go home.
You're in Mordor with no food. Go home.
But the thing is,
Sean
Frodo,
Astin cries well. He really cries well. There's dribble. There's snot. It's his real crying.
I truly think Frodo thinks he's helping Sam to some extent. Though, like just get out of here. You don't have to deal with this anymore.
Yeah,
He's,
I
like,
can't
twisted.
escape being a ring bearer. You can.
Yeah, but he is under a fair amount of stress here, so I guess we could forgive something for Frodo.
Oh yeah, no, I think Frodo's fine. A lot of people don't like him, but I
Oh,
totally.
I like him.
Oh,
I
this
think it's
scene is so beautiful when the Gondorian soldiers ride out.
Yeah, this is amazing.
And
So
they're
this is
throwing
another
like,
lovely
herbs and flowers
extended
underneath
scene
their
here.
hooves.
The sacrifice of Faramir. And I love it because you see Gondor, you see the ordinary people.
Finally, they're wearing helmets.
Love those flowers.
See, now
I mean, they are called
they've had a
helmets,
chance to put on their armor.
but it's almost like a funeral.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, it
Rightly
is. Yeah.
so, but it's very elegiac and like everyone knows what these poor fuckers are going to.
The way that one guy just
It's such a waste of resources.
But
And you get
handing the
some of that
flowers.
beautiful language from Faramir here.
Mm. Do not throw away your...
Ugh.
The city of the men of Numenor. I would give my life to defend it.
Her memory, her wisdom. Oh,
Ugh. That's the hard part too, because like Denethor's crazy, and this is just obviously he's killing all these people. Gandalf is
And you
still,
see
like,
that
you know,
statue.
He'll
of the
remember
men
his
of
love.
old. And you just see, like, I love the way they do the camera shot, like, from the point of view of the statue.
That's
Because you kind of feel that that's what Faramir has grown up trying to live up to. This picture of these noble men of old who did defend beauty and wisdom. And
yeah.
That's one of those things that's so brilliant. I can't believe they came up with it. Having that.
Yeah, it's like these little touches. Like, I think people think Peter Jackson is an amazing effects guy. You know, the attention to the production design, but sometimes the shot choice, like coming up over the statue, and the subliminal messaging is so subtle and so good. I think it's really underrated.
You keep finding new stuff when you rewatch them.
Can we talk about the effectiveness of a cavalry charge against a fixed position at Urban Center?
Little charge of the light brigade here.
Yeah, this is not necessarily the battle
Yeah,
tactic of
like
choice.
all the orcs are staring on, like surprised. They're like, "This is stupid. They're not gonna swing around."
And this bit, when he's
I
casually
mean, Faramir
just
could at least
gorging
have come up with
himself.
like, even if he did get like this suicide mission from his father, he could have come up with a better plan to execute it.
Denethor isn't even watching.
He has chicken to eat, okay? If you guys had chicken this nice, you'd focus on that too.
Yeah, you wouldn't notice the dribble of grapes down your.
We
So-
have no tongues to break
There's the
all
dang-
evil
There's the
times.
dang tomato.
It's got a whole charcuterie board here.
So is that blood on his lip? I never
Oh, yeah, we
understood.
got
Like, did he
Pippin's
bite his lip
song.
or something?
He has no songs for great halls except this one.
which is great.
Yeah, it's quite grand and noble for a Hobbit song.
Is this actually him singing?
It is, yeah.
It is, yeah. He's a singer.
Wow. I love this. The sort of the greed and licentiousness of Denethor contrasted with the nobility of his son.
I think I heard somewhere that they discovered that Billy Boyd could sing when they were doing like a cast karaoke party. And then they
okay.
decided to
Best
put
way.
it on the film.
And there's
That's
like
awesome.
1,000 orcs with their bows just ready to go.
So absurd.
So in the books, they sing this in the old forest, and then they're like, maybe we should talk about forest sailing.
This
It's a
movie is
beautiful
equivalent
song.
of going over the top and just getting mowed down with machine gun fire.
It's World War One, isn't it? Going
And
into
it's
the
very
trenches.
much that sort of like
And then Tolkien
war
yells,
is-
"No, it's not! Allegory is dead!"
It's not allegory, you motherfuckers.
You write what you know.
Exactly. Whether you think you are or not, you can't escape
Time you
it.
try to draw any allegory from Lord of the Rings, the ghost of Tolkien gets ready to haunt you.
I see him right now.
just silent
is weird
shadow
because the
Gandalf in
whole-
their tentacles. Yeah, it's great as well.
The whole movie Tolkien is basically him using his early life as the basis for.
Okay, so now, listener, we're entering a set of scenes with Rohan slowly going to Gondor and
Yeah, I love Rohan.
that. So this is marshalling of at Dunharrow, and this is a totally new scene. Extended edition.
This
But
does a
where
good
are
job
the Google
establishing. Yeah, this does a good job establishing the lack of men.
Yeah. I'm actually kind of surprised they left this out too, but I guess I always am.
And
It is
very good
also-
at giving like place names of
Yeah,
places in Rohan.
it's like what they didn't have in Gondor, having the mustering of all the different locations.
Rohan is great. They've got their citadel. They're like, oh yeah, we got our like last refuge. We got Helm's Deep. Oh yeah, we got this marshalling place if we need. It's like they have like a spot that is abandoned that they only for like specific things for like everything.
People don't like living under this haunted mountain, so why don't we just use it for storage?
Excellent, excellent.
Put the salted pork there.
And their little like the king's camp or whatever is quite high up.
It's very safe.
Just don't go in the ghost hole.
What is
The
it, the
ghost
Wither
hole.
Dwell or something?
Yeah. Twimmer.
Tell us more, Judge
Why did we
Dredd.
camp right next to this?
Yeah, this is a pretty good way to build tension for the Pass of the Dead.
Especially this
Absolutely.
part with
That
Aragorn.
As well as give
Robin is
Eomer something to say.
Always good.
But first he has to get his magic sword from his dream girl.
You say that like it's a bad thing. Magic swords are like the best thing, and dream
It's not
girlfriends
actually a
are pretty
magic
good
sword,
as
though,
well.
is it? I mean, is there any magic? There's no magic property in it other than
It
by
was
having
forged.
it.
It was forged by a dwarf in like the first stage. I think that's about it. I don't think
That
there's
makes the
anything.
magic though. I'm pretty sure.
It's
Yeah.
like
Doesn't
really
do
sharp.
anything.
Well, what is
doesn't get
magic?
dull.
It does inspire all the men. Like it's like, oh fuck, that's Elendil's sword.
Yeah, and
Form
Elendil
of
never
magic.
got us into any trouble ever, right?
Yeah, we just smooth over that.
Isn't this scene just like condescending to Mary?
No, I think it's lovely.
If it had been someone else doing it, then maybe, but not here.
She just like sent him to bed.
Yeah, but it's again, it's a good humor.
You should not encourage.
That's Aomer being a dick.
I mean, in some ways, he's not wrong.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Eomer's trying to be nice too.
Well, Emir is a pragmatic warrior. He
He's
doesn't
seen
see-
battle.
Yeah.
He knows you need some reach.
He's
Yeah,
an
I
ugly
mean-
man.
And he's probably seen some young boys die in war before, so he has a point.
Yeah, there's no ill intent.
Of course, this is in reference to her as well.
Yeah,
You know that,
he's
though.
trying to say you can't handle it, woman.
All
Yeah.
is the
You
And I
can't
mean,
handle the truth.
In his mind, I think he's trying to be protective, and he's like, I don't need
Sort of
civilians.
scared them
I don't-
straight.
But
I think it would have been better if Aramir just kept on talking about like what else is a province of men in this patriarchy society. I'd be like, and so is leadership.
Just for like
And
10
land
minutes.
ownership, and voting.
but I am hungry. Please fetch me more food.
And clothes washing.
It is a little dissonant because they do have some kind of shield maiden. Right?
Yeah, I mean they call her.
Oh, here we go.
Two Towers. They mentioned she's a
We're back to
shield
the
maiden.
theatrical cut. Moody elf dreams.
One thing I hate about this scene is the intensity of Elrond for some reason. He really gets into Aragorn's face.
It's like she's fading and dying regardless. She chooses to be with you, so I guess you kind of have.
Aragorn's that type of guy to sleep with a dagger.
Yeah, man, that saved his life against that big Uruk-hai guy. That's
Yeah,
a
when
lucky dagger.
Remember when he threw that at a guy?
But look how
Yeah, the
beautiful
guy
that tent
batted it
is.
away.
It didn't stick like he wanted it to.
I like how Theoden is all embarrassed. He's like, I take my leave.
Okay, so what the
Why is
fuck is with
Palpatine
these
here?
war camps, man? Like in Game of Thrones, it's the same thing. Like, how long does it take to set up this like tent? It's like
Yeah, but
so
you're a
ornate
king.
with
I
That's
think
why
rugs.
you
that's
have
okay.
people.
It's not that crazy. It's just some furs and a table.
And a lot
Look
of,
at all this
a lot
stuff
of-
in there.
Probably an hour tops. You got retainers
Yeah.
to do that shit.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
have
He
enough
doesn't
people.
do it. It just feels like I wonder in our real history, like was like the tent of the king really like this, baller?
Oh, sure.
Well, I bet
maybe
they
it
were
feels
even
more
more
Even
extravagant.
extravagant.
Elrond is doing the weird whispering thing. Like,
They have like couches and shit in there.
Yeah, it's the
Yeah.
elf whispering.
Can't
That's
let
what
anyone
they do.
hear this.
yeah.
This is private conversation.
I love that line. It will not be our end, but his. Oh,
Nice.
Musicals. If you say anything in an English accent, I encourage you all when you do your next job interview to do it in an English accent in a whisper. You'll be taken very serious.
Writing that down.
There are no more men.
Giving evidence in a court of law.
Ooh, Elrond.
Well, hopefully, it might be that England only has all the available jobs after this one. I might have to.
Oh, Paws of the Dead.
Thieves, cannibals. I don't know.
You know what you must do.
I do think that ghosts being the thing that wins the fight is my least favorite.
Oh, mic drop.
Sorry, yeah.
Look at how serious he gets. It's like he's trying to force a poop or something.
We'll get there in the next episode.
Yeah.
If
I think there's
you've
going to
got
be
the
anger
sword, you're
over
the
that.
king.
And there's going to be anger over the scouring. There's going to be a lot of ranting.
Why is the sword wrapped in a belt?
So that you can
that
put it
looks
on.
cool.
Yes, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Sauron will not have forgotten the sword of Elendil. Yeah, baby.
Are you very excited right now, Shellfish?
I am quite excited, yes.
He's got his like copy of Narsil in his hand.
Sadly, I do not have one of those.
Look
Oh,
at he's
got the
shaking. He's so
long claw.
serious. Look at how overselling.
Any
he is.
ladies
Oh.
listening, you know how to win Peter's heart. Just bring him a replica sword of Narsil.
Bring him
That
the
will do
actual
it.
sword of Narsil. Yeah, you're all set.
And
So
not the
that's like a
shards. It
rain
better
too.
be reforged.
Isn't that what his mother said upon his birth? And she named
Yep.
him Estelle.
Yeah.
Yeah, but not on his birth. It was the last time that they saw each other, and then she went off to die. So it's double sad.
Yeah.
Right. Oh no, he's breaking her heart. Boo-hoo.
It is but a shadow and a thought that you love. This is a good line.
Hard to hear though.
Well, we're going to be entering into the last 3 scenes for today.
Of course, we want to keep going, but we're doing what we must.
Do you think that Aragorn was leading Eowyn on?
A little bit.
I don't
A
think
little
so.
bit, yeah.
I
A
agree.
little bit, actually. Yeah.
Because I think he thought, well, was he? Because I think he thought that Arwen was going to obey her dad and go to the west, so...
I mean, he did drink from
He's
her
hedging
cup.
his bets.
Well, that's what you do when you're dating, right? You're playing a lot of fields until you settle down.
Maybe that's what you did when you were dating.
I was quite a whore.
Can we just quote that, pull that line out and use it forever?
I'm mistaken.
Have you learned nothing of the stubbornness of dwarves?
Might as well accept it. You're going with.
Oh, Legolas, just be quiet. Laddie. I love it. He calls the future king of Gondor.
Yeah, Legolas,
Laddie.
you want to kill some more people that are trying to help you?
Aragorn, listener, we are now on chapter 31. Aragorn takes the paths of the dead, which is as in the theatrical. In fact,
In
so
the
it's the next one.
books, when they go under the mountain, the rangers are with them, right? The dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Grey Company.
The Grey Party.
Yeah.
Because there's more than like 10 men in Middle Earth.
It's a bit rude of them not to say where they're going and why. It's just like, later, guys. Good luck with the war.
Yeah, exactly. We're just abandoning you and you're giving up all hope.
It's a very Gandalf thing to do.
But what it does do is it allows Theoden to really come to the fore as the man who must inspire his own people.
Here you go, Theoden.
Rather
but
than
we'll meet them
Aragorn.
anyway.
Yeah. Like no more despair.
Oh,
It allows
so good,
Theoden
Theoden.
to...
Hopeless courage.
Yes.
The people have to follow your rules.
This is a very moving scene.
Yeah, beautifully lit as well.
I mean, he's
Very
giving
nice
her
composition.
rule, and he thinks he's not going to come back. It's a major thing he's giving her.
Yeah, she'll rule for a month until Mordor. So.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but...
he doesn't expect himself or Eomer to come back, right? But
Like,
in the books,
yeah, come back.
it's the people who actually choose Eowyn to lead them.
Which is so moving. Yeah, it's kind of sad they don't do that, but I get what the screenwriters want to do. They want to build up Theoden as this very wise. He sees her qualities. He sees her quality.
Yeah.
Yep.
Which is
Just
actually
like
very
Faramir.
touching.
Yeah, it's the contrast to Denethor. You know.
Yeah, Denethor is a father who cannot see. He literally cannot see his son. He sees Boromir in his place, whereas they see each other so clearly here.
So Denethor is the steward who refuses to acknowledge the king and won't help, versus Theoden, who is the king who is willing to acknowledge Aragorn and give help even at the cost of.
Yeah.
What desolate corner of New Zealand is this?
All right, so this is our last scene, correct?
Dwimmerborg. This is the last scene, chapter 33, the Haunted Mountain, and this is an extended scene.
Yeah, I don't know where they filmed this, but it's the same place where they filmed parts of Brain Dead.
Gondor's need was dire. Fled. Vanishing into the darkness.
I mean, just like the stunted, twisted trees, like the barren rock. It's great.
Isildur had the power to curse these dudes, turn them into ghosts. Damn.
It's the blood of Numenor, I guess, like the king's blood that gives them some sort of magical powers. I would guess. This actually gives Legolas some nice meaty dialogue to go through this exposition here.
Well, he's an elf, so he knows everything about everything.
He's like, yeah, we used to come here every 20, 30 years for vacation.
Yeah.
One of my favorite
I
spots.
like in the books how there's that one dude like who's ancient, like Last Crusade or something, guarding the door path.
Yeah, it's like a Prince of Rohan that made a boast at a feast to sort of go.
Yeah,
see
Valdor or something.
How is he getting that from these hieroglyphics?
Oh no, I saw a guy like pinned down with an arrow, another guy like dancing.
That's not a chariot.
There's a big old eye there. Yeah.
Disloyal horse.
I like in the books how it's like they tell it's just like his force of will that like the horses went underground.
I always remember the scene because then the level of the video game was
Which game?
the
PlayStation 2 Return of the King game.
Return of the King game.
Oh,
I
now
just remember
Legolas
this
has
as
gone
the
and Gimli
Pirates of the
can't not.
Caribbean.
All
Elf
right,
shamed.
we done?
I think so. I think we've
Yeah.
left them on the cliffhanger.
And here comes the end of our fellowship.
Not quite. We
For
will
now.
meet again in 2 weeks' time. Thank you all
In
for
2
joining. This
weeks.
has been awesome.
I have to wait 2 weeks for the Ride of the Rohirrim?
Yes,
It'll be
you
so
do.
great when it happens, though.
Next week
Disappointing.
is Eid, right, Nadia?
Yeah, so I'll probably be busy next weekend. If you do
Yeah,
it,
so we'll do it in 2 weeks' time.
Saturday, I might be able to like make it.
No, 2 weeks is fine. I think we should
Yeah.
should withhold the joy a little bit.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Oh, this was fun though, guys. I'm glad we're keeping the energy because I do feel after 2 I kind of pale, so I want to be fresh for the final hurdle.
Yep, this was fun.
So is Zach's thing next in 2 weeks? About the
Yes.
pairing? Gotcha.
Cool.
Oh, that thing? Yeah. I don't want to
Alright,
build
guys.
the anticipation too much.
Have a great weekend, everybody.
Yeah.
Alright.
Thanks,
Bye.
Yeah.
Do we have to stand Craig down?
Yeah, we need to
Yeah,
have
so
Craig
I
leave.
have to hold on. I have to make him leave,
Leave Craig.
and let me figure.
Be gone, Craig.
Greg, I release you from my service.
Exactly.
In the meantime, listener, feel free to join us on our Discord server. Just check out our social media for pinned tweets, pinned posts to get the address. Bye.
Bye.
Craig makes that face the king makes when he's released. He's like,
I hold your oaths fulfilled.